Hello, my well-being community. This is Abigail Fink. I am a leadership and life coach. So excited to be here with you all today. We're going to jump into the topic of well-being as really being one of the most foundational tools we have to live powerful, sustainable, and satisfying lives. So I'm going to jump into just a few, I think I'm going to do 3 or 4 depending on the time, little ways that you can boost your well-being right now. So I have a guide. If you're watching this today and you would like the whole guide, I have, I think it's 6 really powerful ways to boost your well-being. Right now, I'm going to go through a few of them and hopefully they'll be a good help. So first and foremost, there's the basics when we talk about well-being, right? So there's fueling your body, there's getting out in sunshine, putting your feet in the grass, getting connected to nature, drinking water, movement of all sorts, depending on what you're able to do. But one of my favorite things that I kind of house in my basic toolkit of well-being is this idea of an evening ritual. And so I often say that the success of your day starts the night before. So usually before I go to bed, I try to have my phone and all screens off for at least an hour. I usually do a rinse to just get the day off of me and slowly start to unwind after checking. This is after I check my schedule for the next day to just get oriented and grounded and set an intention of how I want to wake up and what I want to take into the next day with me. So that's my evening ritual. But this concept, so cool. You can take what resonates about what I shared and make it your own. And I always like to say, just participating in things that bring you joy. So whether that's creative projects or classes, we have all different sorts of things that we like to do. And then a third kind of little tip I have for you is just this idea of really practicing living in the present. And this one's really big for me because I can kind of get caught up in things and a little bit in anxiety loops. And what is really important for me is in moments where I'm noticing that I'm hyper focused on the future or worrying about something that happened or how something might go, I start to feel disconnected and I just remind myself, oh, let me take a few deep breaths and come back to this moment. So one exercise that I love, I'm sure some of you have heard of this before, it's just a senses exercise. So you can take 3 deep breaths. You do a few more of those, and then you ask yourself to name 5 things that you can see. You can name those. 4 things that you can feel or touch. Take your time, name those. 3 things that you can hear. 2 things that you can smell. 1 thing that you can taste. And that will help ground you into the current moment. I also love journaling. Around this topic, if you can't tell, big journaler, I talk about, for myself, I'll ask the question, what am I doing or creating for myself right now in this moment? Again, to bring you back to the present moment. We spend a lot of time fixating outside of that. And then the last thing I want to share with y'all is this idea of celebration as a practice. So often we are conditioned to believe that celebration is something that you earn and that is usually externally motivated. And I'm here to tell you that celebration is worthy of you and your time all of the time. I think I get so excited about the idea of what shifts in your life if you always had access to celebration. So a few fun ways to practice this. 1, back to the journal, right? You can write down a little bit about what your current relationship is to celebration, just so you can understand how you hold it. And specifically ask yourself, how can you create or invite more celebration into your life? And then similar to the evening ritual that I shared with you all before, you can create this idea of a date with celebration. So I do a weekly date every Friday. I do this actually publicly on my Instagram with a good friend and colleague of mine, but we have a weekly date with celebration where we actually close out the work week and celebrate all of the parts of our life, the grief, the heartache, the the happy moments, the in-between moments. Really, it's just about, again, integrating celebration as something that we can have access to all the time. And it doesn't have to be you joining us on our Instagram lives doing that, but what can you create? What weekly ritual, daily ritual can you create around celebration? So anyway, these are a quick few tips and tricks that I have. If you're interested in the full guide that I have, I'm happy to send it to you. Please reach out to me. And in the meantime, let me know if you have any questions about your well-being and how that can actually provide you the most sustainable, powerful, and fulfilled version of your life. Stay in touch.